Hello and welcome once again everyone. Today's replay highlight features the Tier 8 Russian battleship Vladivostok. I've covered the Vladivostok before, but the match featured was very much how the Vladivostok excels in a defensive position when being pushed by the enemy. This game is a Tier 10 game, so very much bottom tier, and goes against all expectations, where our captain takes an extraordinary aggressive approach. A huge shout out to my clanmate Maestrod for sharing this replay with me. He really has the knack of pulling off some great games in these Russian battleships. If you wish to see them, I've added some quick links in the top right. The full build, including ship upgrades and captain skills, are included after the main highlights, and the timestamp can be seen here on screen if you wish to jump ahead at any point, or for future reference. This game is standard battle mode on the map Hotspot, and get ready for some very nice gameplay, as this match, despite being bottom tier, showcases how to play Vladivostok aggressively. One might argue almost recklessly, but as I've already mentioned, time after time our captain seems to pull it off. The Vladivostok's greatest strength is the fact it's quite tanky when angled forward like this, and the sight of one charging directly at you can be quite intimidating and very difficult to deal with, often forcing the enemy into making mistakes or simple outright craziness. There are currently 5 ships targeting our captain, so he's definitely attracted the attention of the enemy team. Opening salvo on the enemy Salem. Something has smoked up behind that island. Opening salvo of almost 13,000 with his front guns. Enemy Monarch is pushing in. Fires his rear turret. Gets another 4,000 plus damage. 2 sets of torpedoes coming in, more than likely from the gearing. Captain takes one close to his bow, and out of the smoke screen a wild Neptune appears. Now, whatever this Neptune thinks he is doing, he shouldn't be. He's already taken a citadel, having his engine knocked out, and he continues to show full broadside. And for anyone interested, this is not how you play the Neptune. He's almost guaranteed to be putting torps in the water, but he maintains full broadside and gets deleted. And that's the first blood. Devastating strike for our captain. 2 sets of Neptune torps coming in. Once again, he takes one close to his bow. Instantly repairs. The enemy Monarch, in the meantime, has taken a beating and is about to go down. Puts his rear guns away and secures the kill on the enemy Monarch. Quite a nice start. Taking out a Tier 9 cruiser, Tier 8 battleship. And with that enemy gearing in front, our captain decides to temporarily halt the advance. Salem gets briefly spotted. Captain reacts quickly, gets his fire away, and that's his second devastating strike of the game, with a nice triple citadel strike on that Salem. Our captain's push into this island network has had a dramatic effect on the enemy team, virtually responsible for all 3 of the enemy deaths. His instinct was right about that gearing. The gearing has been torping again. He narrowly avoids that one. That gearing is operating undetected behind those islands, although he would have a direct line of sight now as our captain is detected. Our captain has taken a very aggressive line here, almost reckless you would say, but I spoke to him afterwards. He told me his gut instinct was, with only 1 destroyer on the enemy team, he was prepared to take a chance, 50-50 chance that the destroyer would be on the other side, It worked out, of course, that the destroyer was right here and about to spend most of the game hunting him. Our captain is radared by the enemy Salem, and the gearing betrays his position. Those were gearing shells coming in there. So our captain takes an alternate route to avoid that gearing, who is camping the exit from this island network there. The Iowa is being shelled by these friendly cruisers, who have barely advanced forward out of the spawn, despite our captain's very aggressive approach, and who has been tanking the majority of the damage here. This Iowa is melting down. It would appear to be on fire and about to go down. Gearing once again betrays his position. Captain is plane spotted. It would seem the enemy carrier has decided he's come for a piece of action from the far side of the map. Torpedo planes coming in. Our captain is going to take a route hugging the island here, making any kind of drop more difficult. Anti-aircraft defense on the Vladivostok is not great. Our captain has launched his fighter consumable, but I must say, for the most part, I find these generally ineffective. That's unfortunate. With the enemy Iowa down, this enemy Salem is isolated. The gearing has relocated and is smoking up. It's not exactly a great move on the part of the enemy gearing. Captain takes a torp from the carrier after landing a very nice salvo on the enemy Salem's front turret. Now he's looking to overmatch his bow, and our captain gets his third devastating strike of the game and proceeds to push the gearing, who has used both his torps. Captain is now quite low. Gearing is attempting to flee out of smoke. Lands a healthy salvo of over 6,000 on the gearing. Gearing does manage to get undetected. Captain does blind fire, gets a couple of hits, and proceeds to take damage from a Yamato, who is firing from the opposite side of the map, almost 20 kilometers away. And that is one thing you do not need in a Vladivostok, is to grab the attention of a Yamato. Our captain does manage to get undetected just in time, so the captain can activate his repair party. So there's life in this old Sea Dog yet. Captain turns to kite away. This enemy gearing is still quite close and behind that smoke screen. And the enemy carrier has decided to come in again, this time with dive bombers. Our captain is in the process of making a turn, and he is showing broadside to the enemy Yamato. Getting plane spotted at this moment is quite unfortunate. Enemy gearing is briefly spotted. Our captain has in the meantime switched to high explosive to deal with this gearing. Manages to get quite a decent hit on that gearing for over 3,700 damage. Gearing is briefly spotted again. Normally at this point in the match, you wouldn't want to be fighting a Yamato with such low health, but our captain has made the decision. He's made a match-winning contribution so far. He's going to go down fighting. See if he can get some extra damage along the way. Yamato has fired. It's unfortunate. Same was quite good, aiming at those front turrets. He has angled in. Very hard to angle against Yamato shells. They tend to pin you, especially the Vladivostok. Our captain is perma-spotted here by the gearing all the time, so there's no chance of escape really. Our captain could choose to hide behind this island, but that's not in his nature. The game is well and truly won at this point. Only thing that remains is possible Kraken. Can he break that 200k barrier? Which is incredibly respectable in a tier 8 battleship, in a tier 10 game. Enemy Yamato has fired again. This could be it. One last salvo and our captain goes down. Does manage to land an 8k salvo. Didn't quite break the 200, but a very respectable game. 4 kills, 11 citadels, and a massive 3600 base XP. Before going to the complete ship build, I've added some links including the Help Me Discord and my own personal Discord in the description below. Now on to the build. Starting off with the consumables, I must stress the importance of using premium here to increase the amounts of damage control and repair party charges, as they both add considerably to your survivability. Vladivostok gets 5 ship upgrade slots, starting off with Main Armaments Mod 1, Damage Control Mod 1, Aiming Systems Mod 1, Damage Control System Mod 2, and finally Concealment System Mod 1. Onto the captain skills. If you're training a new captain from scratch, I would suggest going for Priority Target, Expert Marksman, Superintendent, and Concealment Expert for your first 10 points. As with most Russian battleships, I prefer going for a very strong tanky build. So what I feel is a very strong balance will include Adrenaline Rush, Basics of Survivability, and finally Fire Prevention. Okay, so let's take a look at what this build will mean for the ship's final stats. For survivability, Vladivostok gets 73,600 hit points, which is further enhanced by having 4 repair parties. Main artillery consists of 3x3 406mm guns, 2 in the front and 1 in the rear, with 18 kilometers in range, with a relatively slow reload time of 33 seconds. Vladivostok gets an AA defense rating of 74, which is primarily divided between mid and long range defense, out as far as 5.8 kilometers. For maneuverability, Vladivostok gets a max base speed of 29 knots, turning circle of 950 meters, and a rudder shift time of 13.7 seconds. Finally, Vladivostok has a concealment rating of 54, meaning you will be surface detected at 12.2 kilometers and by aircraft at 9 kilometers. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.